Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? Polygamy. Polygamy plus the birth, thinking. Polygamy plus the birth, 7 wives, because the wife, her dice is on the side because she can make children. You're either minus or plus. Either you shot your load or you pushed it off and you jerked it off and you threw it out. Next load coming up every time you get horny. So we have to have 7 wives because of the dice cubes. You were the middleman who was 5. You were screwing all the corners. 4 wives and 3 wives. The other corner was the way in. So we have 273 days of pregnancy and 125 days, which is 114 days, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 moons, plus 114 is the passage, 125, 8, 9, 3. The Jewish leap year, I think, has 384 days. This is 15 days after it. The English and French, the English channel and the French channel. Well, either you're on the English channel or you're on the French. You can't be on both. Is that true? Is that true? It's not true. It's only true on earth, but it's not true in your head. You can be on 2 channels in your head, the incoming and the outgoing. The 3rd channel is the channeling of challenging it out and challenging your mind to be able to spit out the words the way your mind can think the words. So the English boat went up while the French boat came down. They went around the Suez Canal. They go around the Suez Canal. One's going that way, one's going this way. Locking our minds, finding the French and fighting the French to keep them in the prisons so they can hear how they speak their vibrations so they can learn from the other world. Jewish, French dressing, ranch, dressings. November 4th, because of polygamy of 7 wives, but 1 wife couldn't have any children. But he didn't throw her out because he loved her so much. It was his only wife with no children. Back in the days of Abraham when he had to get another wife from somewhere else. So he did. It was his daughter. He figures if he mixes up the genes between him and his daughter to make a child, it would be half of what his mother is, of who his child is, and how he and who he is, who's never changed. So you're always adding your same serum, but you're changing the rest. So you have 6 wives, okay, that after 398 days, 360 plus 38, which connects to the heaven. After every 400 days, you have 1 baby every 400 days. So after 10 years, in 10 years, you have 365 days. So we're going to go every 365 days because the 398 is the maximum minus the 33 of Christ. Because if Christ came in at minus 3, you're already plus the 3. So you're starting 2 more ahead. 10 years from 9/11 is 11 years. The baby has to come out. You see, your first baby takes 9 months. Your last baby is the end. There is no more months to get pregnant and no more waiting at the 125 days, which is the 5th of May, in which the 11/11 is the 1st of May, in which every 4 years it becomes the 29th of February for the love in the hearts. It's a routine. They bring you together and break you apart, and they have to see how your mind works. It's all mechanics. Do you know how you're thinking? Do you see the words coming out of your mouth? But as you speak, are you thinking at the same time? So you know what you said, that's how you know you made a mistake. 10 times 365 days. So that means after 273 days, 280 days after we had the child, the 288-day cycle, I forgot. 273 plus 15 for the egg. It's 288. The 365 is 72 plus 5, 77. 77. That's the difference of the Christ, because they're making in both worlds. So, after 365 days, okay, they make 1 child. Now, an extra 35 days is added on to make it an even 400, because Moses walked through the desert. and then they're ready for the next one. You need the woman's body to rethink for herself. She has to feed that baby for 3 more months, 125 days, because that's the triple action of this angle, and then making it this angle. They bring the top and the bottom and they make it this way. 1 goes into 4, 5. This one becomes this one, and this one is here. That means 1 and 7 go into 4, 3 and 9 go into 6, bringing 6 and 4 together. Squeezing 2 above and 8 below. So you're playing 2, 4, 6, 8 from the center. The numbers were all squeezed over. I know you can't see. Okay? The numbers are all squeezed over. I wish I could explain it again. 1 and 7 on your phone, in between is 4. 12. 3 and 9, in between is 6. It moves in here because you're awake and you're in the corners, 1, 3, 7, 9, and you're asleep, and it's 4, 5, 6, the federal government, or Roman numeral. But I can't do this to the Roman numeral. Pretty funny, eh? 1 and 1 can't get together. But this Roman numeral, okay, which is 9, and now it's 11. 9 into 10 is 19. 11 into 10 is 21. New York and Kentucky. Around free parking, the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, Hoover Dam. Bugs Bunny blowing up the dams. But never anything really coming out because it was such a beautiful movie, leaving Las Vegas. But they're not leaving to Utah because there's polygamy up there. And they can't have that because they can't mix up the minds that are already right. We don't need a new secret. We already have the secret. It's to keep mixing it up is the secret. If you don't mix it up and you throw the same fastball, the guy eventually will learn from you and he will hit it. So you have 400 days times 9 years. 360 around. You have 9 times 6 children of each wife. Because you make 6 children 9 times equals 54. In the period of time of 4,000 days, you get 9, make 6 children, makes 54, 6 wives, times the 9 cycles, 54 children. LOVE, 54. Polygamy is what's bringing to love back together, is understanding the circuits within the same person. They redo their circuits, and they become so pure, they know all the evil. And once they know all the evil from the purity, they got a perfect person up in Utah. They don't understand, they just don't understand that how good it is to stay in the same family. You're on earth. You have to break it apart because you were broken apart together. So to stay here, you have to keep adding on and adding on from the pieces and parts outside. You already have the inside. It's the heart of God and the heart of gold. 54 love. I didn't calculate the rest of this. I know highway 15, which is IS. 54 is 5 by 20. 5 and 4 is 9. IT, IS. It is, it's, hey, it is, but you just put the S. It is. Tis to be is to be. Tisk, tisk, because the king is coming in. SITI. City. City. SITI. City. Sit down, I. It's a tie that the spirit says yes, but it is not sure because he has the cross. But the real cross that we live is this cross. This is the cross of life. What happens is 7, 8, 9 of who we are because we're on the earth. 7, 8, 9 equals 24. The letter X for the X-man because of the positions he takes when he sleeps and on his mind, this way and this way. No, this is not sideways, just the angles are cut a little shorter. Take a look at the mug and oven and redesign the X inside, making the same lines. This says, I got 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. This still goes up because Here's the V of Venus. Here's the horns plugging into Mercury and Earth. Over here, this is Saturn of the mind. It goes up here, and it comes down here, or it goes up to Venus, but it can't, because that's the power in. So it has to go here, down number 6, up to number 1, okay? That because of the spirit, this little line, it brings it down, and 1 to 7, Mercury and Uranus can come into each other by the backdoor ass, the ace. Now, I didn't know any of this. I mean, I'll show you. You see this? Can you follow this? Can you follow this one? It's a swastika. They didn't close off the lines. They didn't make the square. You can't keep in the dots of the dice cube. It is 29 or 92, and it's all the numbers. I can't get into that. I made hours and hours of videos. But I just want to show you the last part. It's also ABC, 10, 20, 30. There's 60 in this, there's 30 in this box. Well, you got to go through the whole cycle, right? We're going to do the whole cycle. We got 30 in this box, and 1, 2, 3. We got 60 in this box. We got 80 in this box. We have 90 in this box. But if the other box you haven't completed yet, okay, you end up with in the next box, you end up with an either 6, 8, or 9. Excuse me, you start off with a 5, you have to change them. You have 30, 60, which is the number 4, which is like saying A, B, C, D, but just saying the D at the end because A, B, C is in it. Because A and C together becomes the B, designed the 1 and 3 close together. 60. Put it here, you got 10 and 10. 20 is 80. Now this 10 has to have another one. So it's automatically the first roll of the 1 life of the 11, because you're only number 10. There's 10 pins plus you. You don't count. You count only in the score. Makes it 11. At the end, you play 12 games. 12 order. You're 11 and 12. You have 23 to creation. Number 24 will mark the X at the bottom of the paper. Please sign your name here. It's the verification that your score was verified and we both witnessed it. Do you swear to tell the truth? But I mean, you have to swear to tell the truth? Holy fuck. Okay. Do you swear to tell the truth? I just did. Holy fuck. The truth is holy. It's full of holes. You want me to swear into it? I'm going to miss. I can't swear of the truth because swearing puts you in one world and the truth is in another. So if I start swearing and putting my left hand on a Bible, which is a bibble, a dribble of a bibble. Oh, my little kid. Oh, hold on a second. Your bib, it's dribbling. Oh, move it. So the little baby moves it. Her electronic arms of thought that didn't know any better, but something was on her chin and it was bothering her, so she was thinking on how to get it off, and she was only 6 months old. My bib is my Bible. From the mouth I eat from the fruits of the land. My bib is the shit I sleep in as a diaper. So my ass can sit in that and let Uranus bring it back up, the chemicals, but they always say to clean your shit. And they tell you that because it grows back in you. But it's the right vibrations, it's a part of the mind, how you're eating, it's the basics. The bibble. Put your hand on the Bible. Your left hand, of course. But fuck you, man. I'm a lady. Why should I go that? Why should I be the only one that leads? Give me the right hand. I don't own the left hand. The left hand is up in the sky. It's God. It's not me. It's the spade. I'm not a spade. I'm a higher. I'm the right hand. I'm the right hand man because I come in to help. I'm the jack of all and jack of none because none is love, and whatever you love, everything is done, and there's nothing else to do but you. And the only way to do you is to get screwed in the head. This is how it works. It's little screws that pass around the diamond shape connected like fishing line. And it has to go around and around and around. Otherwise it has to go like this. It's telling you if it's coming in as an animal or you're coming in as a snake. 2 heads, the strands are connected, but they keep breaking off. The same way when a jet plane flies, that he's connected to his gasoline that's going out the back door, but eventually part of that gasoline disappears, but it doesn't matter. He's still in the air. And he's still got the back door right behind him. It's a lot of smoke, but he ain't looking backwards. 5 by 4 is 20, 5 and 4. If you turn it around, it makes 99 and you're back on Jupiter. Because of polygamy, the race, the energies from the underworld know how to follow it. It's not wrong, but it's wrong if you're in this world. Because it breaks your mind up into different areas and now you can get trapped. You're not moving into the future because the future is going to turn you into dust. So you stay where you are, so you're smart all the same. But now, in Vega, down in Vegas, okay, what is the, what do you call it? Post Nevada. Now I'm doing this, like, right now I'm talking, but I didn't write anything down, and I'm not doing anything, I'm just talking to you. I don't know where this is coming from, but I know where it's coming from, and I don't want to stop. And I don't want to even think about it. I don't want to explain anything. I just want to explain the story. Because when I start thinking about what you're thinking, I'm screwed up. All I have to do is slow. Ho, slow, ho, 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 whoa, whoa, man, whoa, men. It's all the same, the minimum and the maximum, the men and the women, the man and the woman, the man and the men. The man and the men, the real men, are the females. I'll get to that story later. I'm starting to understand more of the numbers as I go along because I make mistakes and my mind hears it and I didn't know the difference. So it starts to correct it because I want to correct it. Military bases and Air Force bases. Nevada military hotels, red, are monopoly. You only have 9. Motels are green because of green of Mars, because the motel keeps you close to the ground. 1 story, 2 story, 3 stories, you have it in between, you got a roof over you, but it's a roof you don't want to know because somebody might be stamping their feet, and then we have thunder and lightning. The lightning comes down like this, like a fish. It zaps right through. It cuts through all the lines, the lightning, because they've been poisoned. There's a virus in it. So the lightning comes down and strikes through, and the thunder is like the Big Bang. It refills up the air with space. And all the new particles, by the electronics and wireless system, pull back together. And then we get an earthquake. So many months later. Coast Guard bases, creation of the god of Bass. Creation of God Beta, secondary God. Don't forget, I can't keep saying God all the time for every story. I got to keep changing it as the levels go down. From 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You start 1, 2, 3, and then you go 5, 6. Then you only go 9. Once you go 9, you're coming out of the hole, because that's in the 8, you're pumped into 7. Because you're connected to all the wires and mug and dub it. But it's being controlled by an alternate force. House 7, 8, 9. There's no Marine bases. And there's no love for Beta either. There's no Navy bases, the Navy SEALs. And the Cross of Christ. But there's no love for Christ either. We have bases and bases and bases. We got 4 bases. Where's the home plate? Then it says Army posts. None. That's the home plate. Now you go to Nelly's, which is backwards, says Celine. Like Celine Dion. It says C, S-I, which means Spanish, or I-S if you write it down. It just looks like 1551, which is 66. L and L is 24X, because you connect one 12 to the next 12 to get the 2 parts of the day. L and L goes together. Now we have to speak Spanish to know how those L's work. Because the L's, one on each side, right? You have to have a space in between. They're the wings. If the L's are together, you got to split this word and put the L on the outside of one side and reflect it with another number that is the same as itself. It's like going around 360 degrees, starting at E and stopping at E, F, G. The first place you stopped. So when you started there, you counted it only when you came to the first place. So the last place you came to, that you don't have to count because you counted it last, but it's the place you stand, makes 3. Len, the lens of the camera. John Lennon, the Lenin crisis, the silos, Auschwitz. The force is in the air, and the base is in Nelly. Hey Nelly, what's that song? Hey Nelly, what's that song? Dogs in the sky, and Nelly's coming along. Ellie or a Nelly. Line them together, because it all comes through a passage in which goes into your mind. It's all there. You don't understand how to get it, but it's all there. So when the day comes that you can find it, it'll come back from the file folders and return to because you forgot. Adults age, 1. Rooms 1, find hotels. So the hotels and motels are in the Army. H and M, because you're in it. You're in it. You're in it. 8 and 13 is 21. 138. The 38 is the cycle of the pig. S and S, S and S. ABF breaks. They're looking to stop everything by Nelly. Please somebody tell me about Nelly so I understand what Nelly is. Because I have to connect Nelly to God. And I got to get in between and see what God says so I can catch the information. It sends it back to Nelly. Who knows if she's going to talk to me again? Because now she's a Nelly. She's one of the GRbOWNS, the passage on this land, and now she can't speak because she can't breathe because of the cigarette smoke. Cigarette smoke is the short haul of the long run. It means you smoke a lot, smoke a little, it doesn't matter, you're going to get cancer. Because we have the cancer in us. The worst thing about cigarette smoke is when you take the smoke and you leave out your chest and you bring it all the way into the bottom of your lungs. Because if you don't leave it at the bottom of your lungs and you don't leave the black all over properly, it'll show tar tissues and scar tissues. Underneath there'll be lesions, but nobody can see them because it's filled in by the rotten lung. You're not breathing in and out the way you're taking a short puff. That means your lungs are only getting 1/2 of the air. You got to breathe again. But the next time you breathe, is it going to be a long puff or a short puff? Your lungs don't know. They get all mixed up. The body starts to get signs inside of it, starts to turn out more white blood cells. Because the V on the bottom and going into the vines, it gets right down to the bottom. If nothing makes it to the bottom, you don't get the full connection. Once it's filled up with black, if everything's done properly, black crystallizes and turns white again. Inside the red blood makes the pink lungs. It's not exactly, I don't understand exactly how the system works, but it's all in numbers. And it's not the cigarette at all. It's the way you inhale, the way you breathe. You take a good deep breath, your lungs got the air, and then you walk around doing, you get a little tired. You take another deep breath of air. 8, 2, 2, 8, 2, 2, 8, 2, 2. A full breath. And a quarter breath. Or a quarter breast. Part of the chicken, one side of the wing. If you don't take the whole breath, how are you going to have the other wing to think? You got to fill the left side of the lungs, the right side of the lungs, so it goes back up. They crisscross, they talk to each other, then the two sides that were mixed and the two sides of information right in the back of your head. Oh, I got a headache right back here, one of my friends used to say. So this polygamy, it's an energy, I can't explain it, but by making all these childs, they stay back in time by being the Mormons, I mean, that don't change at all for certain reasons. I'm not sure which your life is, but your 1-year-old child, the other child, is 1 year, 0.25, older than his brother, like me and my brother, which leaves no cracks, because one remembers 3 months ago, the other remembers 3 months ago, you come together at one point. You're just on the Wednesday. So you keep bringing back the years between each of the child. The parents are in the house picking up from each child slowly. Now you know child 1. Child 2 is different. The two of them together has a different situation. Child 3 is different. They all play together. You got 3 different situations. You're the 2 parents of 5. 3 situations and the thought of them and the thought of you. But you're putting the thoughts together. 1, 2, 3 of them. The one group they are is 4. You're the mother 4. You're the father 4. Is 8. Then you come together as 1 and 2, 11. You make one story as 10. You put a bow around it. You put a bow around it the other way to come in. You got 12, but you went the bow all the way around, and the bow overlaps each other. So you have to have 16 because they cut off. They go overlapping. Sweet 16, one spirit of 6. Nellie's Air Force Base is there for that energy. At the same time, Montana put the speed up to 85 because of the system matrix. The matrix runs at minus 25 degrees. It's a degrees of another type of thought. Don't just remember quarter. All you got to know is quarters. Okay, just remember quarters, halves, and different numbers combinations. 1/8. I came home to do a 1-minute video. 125. I don't remember what I was with the 125, but I know that's the difference in the birth. So if it's 1.5 years, listen to this. If it's 1.5 years between, 1.25 between the births, you have 1 birth, you have 2 births, you have 3 births, you have 4 births, but you got 5 children. You have 5 births, you have 6 births, but you only got 5 children. Is that the way it is? 6 times 1.25, 8 times 1.25, 8, and 0.25 is 10. 1.25 is 8 is 10. 10 years. 10 years minus 1 year. So that's 10 years. This is 10 years, that cycle. So if we go right on 8, 10 years, and it has to start before the 10 because you have to get pregnant. So it's 10 years, you have to go back to 8.75 minus the 25 of the quarter that put it together. You and her, the sperm and the egg is 1 whole, 1/2 from you and her, making it just 1/4 because it's turning into a whole child. So the half becomes a quarter. Quarter of the growth, quarter of you, quarter of them, quarter of the spirit. So now you have 8 times 8 cycles, 1.25 is 10 years. 8 cycles, 1.25 is you went 8 children, 1.25 years apart. But the first child came for that 9 months that it wasn't here, 10.75. 3/4 of what wasn't here to when it gets here, it's 1/4 of the body of the new child because it's in you. It's just a body, a call. It has no real brain. It has the soul brain, and it doesn't know about memory. It eats, it drinks, it sleeps, it shits, and then it goes into the forest, it dies. Not until, the 59th day, which is the leap year. Not until the 59th day should you touch the child. You can do anything you want with the child up to 59 days. Now the 59, the 4 is you, so that's your cycle, 45 days. Then you bring off the 4 to 37, because that's the center of a roulette. Then you add on 2, because you have to go to the other side. So an abortion, the Mediterranean is 41, but you're really not into the world till 56. At 55, you got the open gates. You can't go towards the open waters. So at 54, the 54th day, after that, you don't want to have an abortion, 54 days max. 54, 45 is 99. It's the connection of what's going to be inside of you. 54. 64, the death of Hoover. 74, 74, the death. 64, the birth. 84, the matrix. The connecting islands. 94 is eternal. 104 is blackjack. Is it blackjack? 104? No, 104 is casino war. 10 and 4 is JD. And JD is actually Jupiter and Mars. Somehow by the coordination of the 3x3 worlds, the letters are split up. This way, this way, this way. They double up in the corners because they come here. 10-4 is my birthday. The 19th of the moon is this last spirit that had to come in. Jesus came in on the boat of 3757. 3757 was the boat. 10-12. 10-12 says from 10 to 12 is 10 minutes. So now you go 10 minutes before 12, 10 minutes after 12, you got 10-10. 2 years ago, everybody went to Las Vegas to remarry. They were celebrating. And 2 years ago, 10-10-10 happened. 10-10-10 was yesterday. It was the 2 years you needed to get them. This is the spirit. We got to get from the spirit over to here. It's a counting method, jumping over wires. It's a machine. It's a blueprint. So you jump over your wires. You come from here to here. Now you got to wait 39 weeks. 273 days was the 1st of October. That's a birth cycle. 39 weeks, 7 days a week. 273, October 1st. 30 days later, 303. 3 to the left, 3 to the right, 606, with no love in between. We're gone. We become the egg. And they're manipulating the egg because it's half of our head. It's what we see, and it keeps going down how the brain works, right down to your dick and ass. October 31st, Halloween, 10 and 21. How 10-10 made 11 into 21 because the mother and the father had the child. They were 10-10 perfect by themselves. But when they put it together, the 10 of the women became 20. She had you as 1. With father, it becomes 11. The ace in blackjack. The mother, the blackjack. October 31st plus the passage is 5 days. 5 days? No problem. But wait a second, you got to walk there. And once you get there, you got to open up the door. On the last day, when you go to grab the door handle, and you squeeze it, and now as your energy, the energy turns the handle, and you blow up the door, because it opens. You blow up the door by opening it. That's November 1st. That's November 4th. The eve of November 3rd. Saturday connected to Sunday. Wednesday, minus 4 days, plus 4 days, 8 days a week of the Beatles. They killed John Lennon. So no one could find that clue. Because they didn't know, but the computer system knew. Through the vibes and the song of John Lennon, it broke it down and said, hey, this guy's got to go. He's giving all the reasons to the future. And the future is coming, can't you see? Back in the 60s, to the 60s, okay, 1900 to the 60s, and from the 60s to 2010, 50 and 60, 6 by 0 is 90, 5 by 0 is 75, and you're back to 165, the one spirit of the 6, of the 5 dice. The 5 dice, the 6 dice, and the 1 dice. The 1 dice opposing the 6, making it 5, because it's the other side. But if you take away those 6 from the 1, it's minus 5, so it would be 505. O is worth 15 in this world. Starts off at 0, it goes to 6. Then there's birth because it changes the land. It goes to 15, letter O. Then there's a change of the level in Rubik's Cube, it goes to X. That's 24. Now the in-between out of Rubik's Cube, okay, is 33. 24 and 9, 33. And that makes the other 6. Once that 33 has gone around, you're back to the first 6. The first 6 is your time clock. 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes. All in the corners. 1, 3, 7, and 9. You see this? These are 9 planets. A planet here, a planet here, a planet here. They bring this down to here, bring this down to here. We live on one straight line. We're picked up by the cross. So we cross it here, and we put a line down. We don't move these from here to here into this line, because they already cross over here, automatically making 1, 2, 3, 4. But wait a second, we don't have the underneath done. You have to do the underneath. So you do the underneath. You have 2 open lots. Your 2 eyes with your nose in between and your mouth. running all the way down to your dick and your prick. That when your prick rises, goes your head. I'm still thinking. Look, 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 look. I'm horny. My dick is on an angle because that's the way my hand goes. I mean, how can my hand not go like that, eh? Right? How can my hand not go like that? I'm always doing this on the inside. Now it's got to reach out to the outside. Can't bend back the finger, so you bend here, the wrist of your dick. Because when you put it in, you're moving all around. So it must have some kind of area where the ball is the third ball that's letting it move, and you can swing it all around. Ride 'em cowboy, make the people and save space. But only the minds of those who can work in space. Space is a frozen entity of ancient worlds, frozen in time because they chose to be that way. They all chose to be that way. You can be deleted, but when you choose to be evil in the worlds and you come back to the real world, your thoughts of who you were and how you did what you did ends up in the glaciers, freezing over time and purifying it, taking out all the evil that's inside and studying the evil. Because if you study the evil, you study the germs. You study a germ, you learn how to fix it. You study the germ, it's in front of you. You're 1, it's 5. The answer is the 6. One 5 is just like saying IS, it looks the same. Is she or is she not? Is she or is she not? Am I saying she or here? Is she here? Is she here? Quack, 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 quack. The juice and color doesn't stay the same. Your piss goes out the front, and your shit goes out the back. This is a lemon. I don't know yet about how it works, but I have to count the numbers that are in here. I think there are 8. Plus 3 that pass through the center. 1 up here, continues through this line, stops here, and then continues to here. Don't you ever notice in the orange there's a little piece over here? Because it's the center. But it's not going this way or going this way. It comes from this, and it comes up the back of the fruit to come back to the top. This is a padding. It's a padding under your skin. The same thing as this lemon. How do you think God got you so soft? Where do you think he got it from? Something was alive or something that was dead? That was growing in fruit from his spirit so you can eat the fruit, the fruits of life. If you turn upside down what I just did before with the Y, you're man crossing in 2 places. 1 at your belly button, your first thoughts, and 1 at your tits. Your tits know. Your chest is just ahead of you, and your nipples are 1 and 9. They go around so you know you can feed the child. But they go around 1 at a time. Each one in its own, and the other one hurts because the transfer between the 2 of them is not fast enough. Baby only drinks from 1, but you need to keep tossing them over to the 2 sides. You want to breastfeed your children. If you want what you want for yourself, you have to give it to your child through yourself. You have to watch what you eat and understand. Just understand. Sometimes we come into this life, we drive down the street, we have an accident, we're pissed off. Or we buy a magazine to see somebody else's history, we laugh about it all day long, but don't tell them the thoughts of our mind. Communication in Germany. Germany, another set of Jews. This time inside the land. The Greeks, another set of Jews. We're all in the same game together. But their God is the Greek God. He teaches them all that needs to be taught from one God. By having the 11 gods plus 1 who brings the story up to the top, Christ, God hears the story from 1 from 12, but at least he can trust him because there were 11 more below him that sent him the message. 9/11 to the 1 to give it to the one God. Making 13. 1 and 3 is 4. You have the 4 corners. You have the 4 corners of Talit. You are standing in between and you are learning and understanding from the roll of the dice of where and how the cycle that rotates as a cycle. Utah, U21, T20, free parking. New York, 19 and 20, 40 is the game. Mercury, Kentucky Derby. Kentucky, just after free parking, just around the corner from New York, went from New York to Kentucky. So they ran the horses, they gave good money, the money was touched, it was bet in the machine, you punched it in the machine, and they knew what your brain was thinking when you punched it, because that finger has your DNA on it. That's why they take your fingerprints. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to take fingerprints. They wouldn't know better why the finger works the way it does. You're imprinted by God, you're stamped out, you come here this way, so your body and your mind stay together and you never forget. 19, 20, 21 on the dice. 19 and 20 is 39, 13, 13, 13. And 21 is 60. 60 moons. If you add up the position of where these are, New York is actually 21, 3 sevens. Free parking is number 22, means 2 and 2 life. 2 on this side, 2 on the other side. 2 by 2 is 4. Kentucky is the 21st, and 22nd. From go, it's 21. It's the lot, 22. 21 and 22 is 43. Creates the Baltic Avenue. 22, 21 and 20, 41. Creates the Mediterranean. 19 and 20 connects the moon. 19 and 20 connects A and I equaling 10, which is the Jack God. One nose, out of one nose. New York, I close my eyes. New York, close my eyes so I can continue on the vision that was in the past, so I must look into the dark. New York, 19 and 20, 39, 13, 13, 13, 3 baseball games played. 7th inning stretch, 6, 7, and 6 to each team, 18 and 21 strikeouts. But after 3 games, there is no winner. There's no winner after 3 games. This is all it is. Either somebody wins here, or somebody wins here. But then they have to either win here, or have to win here. 3, 6, 7. 7-game series of 4 and 3. You play 4 and 3 because the first 3 games, there's no winner. 3 and 4 on the dice are opposite, making a 7. And then you play the other 4 games, somebody might win. And the crowd stands up. And they go to the 7th inning stretch, get a couple of peanuts, and their mind is thinking into the game. And again, they're getting what's out of our mind. It's a mind game. You're blowing your mind. You give them a blow, it transfers the energy if you swallow. You're really supposed to swallow. But watch out what you swallow for who you swallow with, because he may just hit you and kick you in the ass. So you don't swallow anything until he makes the vowel. Because when he makes the vowel of truth, the information will be true. When you swallow before, he shows us friendship. The information can only be known as, I hope he's my friend. Is he going to screw me one day by talking to me and slandering me? That when I swallow his juice, I won't get any good spirits inside of me, and I'll only be sad because he went away. 19 is the moon. 20 is the exchange between coming on to 19 and then starting on 19 and going from the 20th lot. You land on 19 dice, but you end up on the 20th dot of 39. 3/4 of, the third one is a reception, it's the backup. The third 39, the third 13 is the combination of 7 and 6 put together. In the dice, it's 10 minus 3, 10 plus 3. Look on your phone. New York, 39, 41, Mediterranean, Baltic. 39 and 41 is 80, the game. Now you're coming in and standing and living and staying. 39, 43, I made a mistake. 43, right? 21 and 22, 43 and 39. 43 and 39, 82. Reverse it is 28, the moon cycle. We got 10, 10. We have 82. 9 times 9 is 81, plus you standing on a spot. That counts for nothing, because you haven't thrown the dice. It's your next move, and then it all starts to count again. Now you're at 0. Because that's where you're standing. You're at 019 on New York, 911. 1 stand, 1 0, 1 you, the birth of your mind, because your mind is always 9. Because it's not your body, you only take care of it by the interior thoughts. 5 minus 2, 3 and 3, and 3. So you have 82 plus 20 on the dice for free parking that's in between. That's the dice roll, but now we're going to count it as being the property before we even dice and get there to see what the first answer is. The first answer is 103, which is 103, which is J and C, Jesus Christ. Now we take the other side, 82, and 82 and 22 is 104. 82 plus 82 plus 21 plus 22. So now you have 82 plus 22 is 104, October 4th. Instead of JD God, now you have the J. Instead of the JC God, now you have the JD God. AC and DC. How did I do that? By landing on the spot and going up for the elections in the presidency and actually getting the presidency and going 4 more years. I came in with the creation mark 3. I came into the Oval Office on the Spirit, and I go 4 more years of whatever I care for. And the rest of yous, well, we'll talk about it. Over crumpets and tea. We'll crumple it up. We'll eat it. Really doesn't taste about anything, but we have no taste for you. But crumpets and tea soothe the mind for those with the thought that runs. 85. 8 by 5 is 40, 8 and 5 is 13, 53. 40 and 13. JD. So now we have 103 and 104. 103 and 104 from the 278th day of the year makes 382 plus 2, 384 years in the leap year. Because don't forget, you stopped on the spot, you're at the spot, and you're leaving from the spot. Where you stopped, where you stay, and from where you leave. Because where you stopped and you're staying, whatever you're doing is in the circle of where you are. The total is 207. 7 times 0 is 105. 2 times 0 is 30. They're on opposite sides. I remove it. It equals to 75. The dice cube. 7 over 5. 5 over 7. Owning 2. Okay, 75. 12. Okay, or 5 from 7 is 2. Now when you have 2 dice, the first time you start is 2, and the highest dice is 12. Equaling to 14, which is the one spirit of 4 islands. They're breaking an entry. They're putting a bypass U. U, W, 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 U and U. Numbers, 42 count. U and U, 42 count. The evil shin, the 4-headed shin, the W, W, W is 42, 42, 42 is 126. 12 and 6 is 12 times 6 is 72. They completed the cycle, 72 and 288. 288 days times 1.25, the extra days in the year, equals to 42 and 42 is 80 for 21 and 21, 21, 21, 21, 63. Now we put on 21, 21, 21, U and U completes 1. Then U in the center is 63. Then you and you. Then you and you. 42 equals 105 bluff. They're taking you for a ride. Now it's you and you on this side. You and you is 42 and 42 is 84 plus 105 is 189. 9 times 8 comes back to 72. The U's, all the U's put together in a crisscross of Christ. All the U's come out to, where's the number? 189. 189 is 9 times 8 times 1 is 72. 4 times 72, but you always want to complete the circle, even though you're not there. You left from the one corner, you're heading towards the other corner, you're standing at the other corner, looking back at 2 corners, there's only one that's the opposite of you, but you landed on jail and you're going there anyways. 9 times 8 is 72. 72 times 4 is 288. 288 times 1.25, the difference of the 13 moons left over at the end of the year, equals 360 degrees. One world we're in is 288. The other world we're in is 72 plus 5.25. Us and the moon. The matrix wiring, the spirit, and all the cards. I didn't plan to make this video, but it all started in May of 555. And 777 years later, I'm over here where I am. 555, 777, there are other numbers because 777 is the time between. The 555 is the connecting places, but I'm going to December, so I'm not adding in 12 yet. 7 and 5 is 12. 555 from 777, 7 and 5, 12, 7 and 5, 12, 7 and 5, 12, 12, 12, 12. Mayan calendar, 9 days early because the birth is here. The extension of the Mayan calendar can't bother Jesus. It comes on the 21st, they back up 9 days because of Christ is 4 days ahead and we can't disturb Christmas. So you remove 9 days from the 12th, 21, you become to the 12th. Now you go 4 days forward because that's the connection to the one spirit of 6. December 16th, 12th month, 16th day, 28, the 4 weeks of 7 of the cycle of the moon. 4 and 7 is 11. 4 times 7 is 28. 28 and 11, 39. 3 parts of the moon in 1 quarter. 3 parts in 1 quarter. 3 parts in 1 quarter. The spirit diamond. December 16th, we go turning around. The rains will fall. They have to replace the islands. The winds will blow. The sands must be placed back in their place. The underneath of this world, okay, is an ocean. There's an ocean that runs between this earth, and it cools off everything that's in it because of all the matrix wiring that is connected into the copper that's in all the sand and all the other elements. But we've dug a hole into everything. You know why we dug a hole like a mole? Because we wanted to upset the ecosystem. So then the energies of God could not go up, but they keep forgetting. There's only one energy, and it goes right from your heart. That's all it is. There's no earth, there's no moon, there's no nothing. Nothing exists except for your heart. And God is only in your heart, and He placed you the 7 commandments, plus mother and father. Follow the rules, set them on to your child. Mother and father 10, plus 1 is 11. You, as 10 between, is 21. To your child is 1 of you, and 10 of him is 11. 11, 10, 11, 21, 21. Bring the 11s both to the center, you have 32. You have to start at 5 because that's the first E train. Makes 37. 37 in the middle of the roulette of 16, 19, 17, 20. And 18, 21, 18 and 21 is 39, 17 and 20 is 37. Standard and Poor, S&P, 16 and 19. The one spirit of 6 is connected, 1 line down, 1 line down, 1 line down. Total, 111, 37, 37, 37. 3 by 7, 21 equals the U. 3 by 7, 21 equals the U. 3 by 7, 21 equals the U. 3 U's. W, U. That's it. A W and a U. It's 3 U's. The W is 23. The U is 21. Total is 44. 44th President, Barack Obama. We have to go to the end number because he's making the next move, in which has already been calculated and done by others. It's in motion. Now we started with Nellie's base. Now I didn't look into that. I really want to get out Okay, because I need to sit and talk to people, because I want to overflow. I need to overflow. Everybody asking me questions. We go one at a time. Everybody remembers. Because I'm going to forget. I got to move on. I can't hold that storage. If I keep putting water in the toilet because I know I'm going to crap 10 times a day, the toilet would be all over the floor. How do we serve? You come in, it stinks, flush the toilet, get rid of it. Put your mind back into the ground, put your head back up into the air, and hold your chest out. You like that? And I'm the cock in the sky, the moon in my back, and the one eye. Because I look a little crooked and I throw out my glasses because I don't want to see their colors of their ass. Because their ass is their face and I don't want to see it anymore because I don't believe anything they say. I never voted in my life. I don't do surveys, but I put my name all over the place because I don't care. Sometimes I do care getting too much mail. But I sign up for what I want to sign up, and if they see, they see, and if they don't, they don't. Just branch out. Put yourself somewhere. They send you an email. They remember. Oh my God, a coincidence. How come this email and that email and all these things, these coincidences, you're throwing it back, but you're not. You're just having a good time. Come to the computer, you put it on. Now this is what the short breath is all about also that I told you before. It's our talking. And how we talk. Are we talking like this? And we're talking like that. Bringing the words together so we make it like crap. It's all sticky and juicy, but what do we know? It went into just one place and out through the hole. So the doctor, he took the little spearmint and lab and told you your baby, he's got just a crab. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Oh, hold on, you didn't ask me to put my hand on the Bible. We gotta go. Sir, would you like to put your hand on the Bible? Oh, I'm a sir now. Sir, are you a sir? I have to call you officer, and you say back to me, sir, that you're superior to me? The only time you're superior is you're the left-hand man, guard man. All you have to make sure is you do the properties of the courts, but you can't negate that you're any better than me because you're standing up in a suit. I'm wearing the pure suit of man. I stand for me. You want me to take my hands, put it on a Bible, and then swear to tell the truth. But then you swear and it's telling a lie. I don't get it. Put your hand on the Bible. This is the way it works in the other world. The national anthem. Put your hand on the Bible. Crossing over from one side to catch the heart that's just offline, so it should just go out and pass. Your heart passage that goes out like that, it's the mother that's giving birth. So this is the way it goes in court. Raise your right hand, put your left hand on the Bible. Raise your left hand, put your right hand on the Bible. Raise your left hand, put your left hand on the Bible. It hasn't crosses in front of my heart. So whatever I say is to one side or the other, because every time you judge, you never take the seriousness of what's really in my mind and understand my words. So you take this hand, okay, and you put it on the Bible. Because if I turn around, then it's on the other side. So I cross over. Oh my God. Oh my God. But the head tilted, the hand came from the other side, the ear went down. The spirit angle from stars went down. This is the way I would have to pray. Put your hand on the Bible. Wait a second, put your hand up. Oh, I'm not fucking in jail. You only had one hand. Okay, one hand up. No, one hand up. Okay, we're going to do it now. I says, all right, you go ahead. I'm going to prepare. Connecting the other side of my heart. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Truth, nothing, truth. You want me to swear to tell the truth and nothing of the truth. Do you swear to tell, TT? Do you swear to tell the truth, but nothing but the truth? So they don't want you to say anything of the truth. They want the truth, but the nothing is you're the nothing because you're the in-between of the judge. You're the egg in the center with the one that's right through. You're the pin of it all. You got a pin here, and a pin here upside down. You're the judge head and you're the shin. The four-headed chin, from the judge to the officer that tells you to raise your hand. I got a question. You better put the Bible up here, because I got a question. If I'm going to be telling the truth, the whole truth, and swearing above everything, I got to put my hand up in the air above my head. Because above my head is where God is, and He knows that I'm swearing. So I'm not putting my hands down to the evil world below. I put it up in the air. Now I swear to tell the truth. Absolutely nothing but the truth. Because the nothing is in the air, and the truth will come down. But you won't believe me anyways. Because I forgot to put my hand on the Bible. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Hey, 5, you're God. Well, you tell him. You're the truth. I'm just a passenger. You're the captain. You tell the truth. So I show him signs. So I told him the truth. He asked my hand to go on the Bible to pray. I ain't going to swear in my head when my hand's up. My two hands are up. And he got me under the gun inside my mind telling me to swear. The Bible is a trick, but it's not a trick. Everything is like this. It's all skull bones, my friends. They tell the three sides of the story. 288 is the 288 days of the islands of who we are. The 72 islands that were set up, putting the Jews onto this planet. But it's not exactly that way. It's a galactic setup of planets, and I'm not here to actually explain it right now. But there were original 6. The original 6 hockey teams, if you follow them, dotted down, it goes all the way up to New York and then starts in Philadelphia in 1972. 198 years, 9 times 8, 72 by 4, 288. That I think the Philadelphia Flyers came in. Now don't forget, I can be off by a few years and it doesn't matter. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. I know Philadelphia must have come in 67 of Expo. 6 by 7 is 42, bringing in 55 Liberty. So I'm not looking at these, so I can tell you a story on the numbers, but I can't tell you the story at all right now. But the Eagles, when the Eagles started, you got to know when the New England Patriots started, you got to know the first and the last football team, by the division that you're in, hopping over into each one, finding the center that goes with the last one, to continue on to see how the cycle was of how they built up this entire system the way it is. Through games, people play. 288 and 72. I am one thing, no more than the 6th man of the eighth heaven. I am no more better than you, because when I go to court, I also swear. I swear to tell the truth, but I got good reason. But in your dictionary and definitions, my reason's no good. I've been judged. Jupiter, Uranus, you have been judged. J-U, Jew. Now you're in the jungle because you're in the courts. You're out of Africa. The wedge of you, and you, reconnecting the 6, makes a W and a U. J-U-W. The eye of who you are, the spirit of who you are, and the age of who you are makes you the Jewish man. And it's only because of creation, of where they put you. That's all. 288. $336, 288, the moons, 288. I got to figure out the moons in 288 because I can be working by different kinds of cycles, whether I'm working by the moon cycle or the man cycle. 19, 18, 11, and 8 make 19. Now we got 72, 72, 72, 72, 72, December 21st. 288 is the 15th of October. No. Yes, 288 is the 15th of October. 288 and 72 is 360 degrees. From December 31st back to December 21st, it's 10 days from 366 to 356. 165. From Jesus' birthday, 360, back to 288. The time is 72 plus 5. 36 is the center. Plus 5 is the 41, Mediterranean. I'm confusing myself with these numbers. 288 plus 360 is December 25th. 360 is December 25th. Take away 30 days, 330. No, take away 25 days, it's 305. 305. No, 360 days minus, let me have to start at 360 days minus 25 days of December. No, 25 days of December. 25 days of December is 360, is 385, it's 335. 330, the 12th moon times 28, 280. 280 and 56. 6 is 8, that makes 288, is 336. 336 plus 30 days would be from December 1st to the 31st. Take away 2 days, 336 is 364 days. You have to go back one cycle because we can't extend into the next one. So we go back 3 cycles. Now I know I'm confusing because I'm calculating as we go. 336 would be the mark of one moon minus 28 equals 308. 308, okay? Because of the passage of the quarter moons that passed, 308, 28 days from 336 is 3 by 8 is the moon. Now this is a moon cycle at the beginning of life. It's not now. I have to calculate it by the days now because if it's the end of time, it's either A, B, or C. So 308, 288 day is October 15th or 14th. It's a mix. This year it's the 15th. Did I say that right? The 15th? 15th of October, 288, and we have to go to 308. Add 20 to the 15th of October equals 35. October ends on 31, November 1, 2, 3, 4, November 4th. Today is November 4th. I went down, I brought it back to before the last cycle of the moon to 336. I took one more cycle away to 308, okay, between 308 and 336. This moon over here, going back 28 days, okay, brings it to 280 days. 8 days before the moon and 8 days after. Then I bring it back forward, and I get this, polygamy. Pulling 2 legs, you're pulling my leg, you're pulling my leg. Nellie's base, Montana, they're ready to rock and roll. They're ready to come in with all the trucks. 2725 is connected a long time ago. Roswell, 1945. 1945, the end of the war. They came in to pass the message. They found the stone, but they couldn't use it because the evil world needs to know the truth. Are you evil or are you not? So now the evil world is testing the ones that we don't like because that's what the system is all about. Evil knows if you can't be good for part of the time, you'll never learn how to be evil and you'll always be kicked out. Taking a break now. Raphael, 7286. I appreciate it. Did I pick this up? It's all about this. It's all about this, my friends. This is my face. That's all you need to know. Because when I speak the word of truth, you want to know because it starts to get interesting. It starts to connect. Your mind starts to connect. So I make a song and a dance and I do with both sides. I swing around the room. Wild, Wild West. Quebec, the west of the east. Quebec, the water and the hydro. Quebec, the French Channel. America, the English Channel. You're a frog, get back to Canada, go back, hey, you're hooked up with all the 8 batteries. They might be small, but they're powerful. They last just as long as longer than anybody else. Because my mouse has been running forever. Hey. Two channels, one goes up one comes down. They're always crisscrossing. The French and the English wars. I think that's what the difference is in this world. Something to do with the French and English, but don't forget, it's been broken up. Now French comes in multiple differences, and English comes in multiple differences because we speak the same language. But it's okay. The good English will come together as heart, and we'll be in the same artery. So we'll move all in flow, because we know nobody's trying to fuck us. Hey man, why are you driving too slow? You cut me off, the other one's in front. Everybody knows, man, no one's going to fuck you. They're not here to take advantage. You just want to go with the flow. That's why we ended up on the trains in Monopoly. Just keep going around and around on the black trains, a black beta who created a tight pussy and a long dick, only that she can open a sliver of her mouth and let you into this world. So she can extend from Venus all the way to Pluto, so she can hook you up electronically. Why black people have long schloing. The breasts, the triangle. God had to have a triangle. He started at your tits. He went down to your pussy. You know why? Because there was no balls back then. Nobody was playing hardball. Dick was hard, your balls were flying, your mind was upside down. Well, that's the way she was. The body of the heart is like this, but we can't run into the tits after. So when we remark it, we go from inside the heart around the tits, down to the bottom peak, and we end up with a heart. We don't have no legs yet, because we didn't put on the ship. So wait a second, Elvis Presley came in with the ship. But the days of the week weren't connected together, and we couldn't go to the other side of the world. So John Lennon came in, and he told us all about Wednesday. Because Wednesday you always jump over, because the 4 on the dice, in a game of 40, 4, 8, 12, 16, train track, 20, free parking, 24, Illinois, you're a big nut, 28, you're on waterworks, and you jump right over and go to jail, and you keep going. So you never really come back into your mind with the full right, the 4 corners of the board, because you're only playing with 3. The others own the 1. They own you. George Carlin. Joe Pesci. 2 friends. Joe, J, Jack, John, George, G, 7 and 10. He always jokes about him. 7 and 10 is 17, the 10 world and the 7 world. And the 10s and 1s and everything else for the corners is don't worry about it. Now you got to connect corners of the dice because you got to hold the damn thing up. God got to mark everything down. 288 times 1.25. 1 more moon. The moon just passed. 28 days of the last moon. What was that? Then the next moon. And then when the next moon comes, whoosh, on that angle, November 4th. This angle in, that way down. If they come in on this angle, they come in on this angle, they go all the way down. Or they come and they split this way, or they split this way. But this time they're looking to blow up that part. So from the last moon, if I can remember, which was it November 6th? Or October 6th? What cycle was it on? Oh, I hate not knowing. But let's say it was October 4th. 30 days is creation. So 30 days from October 4th. Less Halloween is November 4th. October 4th is the 277th day of Christ plus the 278 when it works together with the leap year. 70 and 70, forget about them, they're the same thing, same category. When you add the 7 and 8, because you always add the first digit, it's going to be whole with the response. 7 and 8 is 15, and that's the GH egg, which is Jack in heaven. But Jack is with a G. And it's Jack and Evan, because you don't say the H. So Jack is even. So it's like Jeevan. But now he's a saint because he has the cross of Christ. He becomes Stephen. Because he's the mind that is 6'5", stands 6 feet in the air, and 5 inches in the air, and the 6 and 5 dice, and he runs the dice in his body of equality. He is even Stephen. And I have a friend just like that, born in November, on the 19th of the moon. So great to know that you can actually connect just little numbers and see points of view, and then bring them back and make a global point, and then somebody asks you, you make a small point, which makes the big point of the whole matter. The ballpoint pen. The ink that comes in, what's getting written down, but the gold and silver is you're reading an exchange of the situation and writing that back down from how everybody sees, so the story seems to be a story of history that tells a story. 278 plus 27, end of the month, Halloween. 2 by 7, Christ, Halloween, from October 4th. 27 days. Plus 4 days, it's November 4th. 31 days. 31 is where jail is. 30 on the dice is there. That makes 61. That makes Saturn. 31 days is the space it's in. 30 is the dice. 01. 301 minus 2 plus 1 equals 1. 1 spirit connect. 31 plus 278 is 309. 3 by 9 is 27. Times the day's difference of the 4th to Halloween is Halloween. 27 times 3 is the 81 connect. 8 times 1 is 8. It's Reish, 81, 18. Connects to Jupiter, which is 99 in the letter count. 31 days makes 4 to 4, number 44, from the 4th to the 4th. From the 4th to the 10th month to the 4th to the 11th month, making 21 and 8. Obama's number is 44. Herbert Hoover, H and H, is 88. 8 and 4 is 12. 8 and 4 is 12. You have the spirit in your heart, but you can't. You're supposed to have 13. It's supposed to be the A letter to the M. The 31st president is Herbert Hoover, Barack Obama. 31st, and 44th is 75. Again, you get back to the 75 you had. 7 and 5, 12, 12. The last one is a complete number of the 9, because you're bringing it to the end and you're stopping. You're not going 9 minus 9, you're stopping at 9. Makes December 21st of the Mayans, only because of what the evil is doing in this world. The Mayans called for the switch at this time. So we're not going to live that long in the evil world, it seems like. Okay? But 6 months is a long time when there's hardly any food, and you can't go anywhere, you don't have money, but you don't need anybody because nobody's coming to collect anymore. There's no collectors. They've already taken the 10% of your mind away from you by taking away the lands and imprisoning you between. Nellis, Nell, Schnell, us, the seal of life, the rack of lamb. A little higher than Las Vegas, so when the dams break, they can create another lake near the base. Did they dig anything near Nellis yet? Did they dig up any holes near Nellis, any pot dams or something, so that the overflow from Hoover Dam can save them so they have water? Lake Mead has been sitting there for years and hardly untouched because everybody's too busy gambling. So they grew the seed underneath the ground, just like the earth grew, so everything grew. They put their seed in it, and there's another little earth in there, like an alien being, computerized, of course, that's so fast and knows the business of everybody, he can destroy anything just by thinking, because it all goes wireless back into the machine. So now you think he's a magician, but he's not a magician. He is that machine that was connected at birth through the water and the air. Herbert Hoover, 1 and 3 is 4. Barack Obama, 44. 444. 4 by 44 is 160, and 16 is 196, the rotation of the birth of man. 9 times 6 is back to 54. The number count for Lake Mead, 545. I'm going to be leaving the house now because I had to make this 10-minute video. It was only 10 minutes, wasn't it? See the zipper going all the way down at God and the line that goes across, so I get the energies from both sides of my talus. I tie it up. I tie it under my chin. Do you see the way this goes down over here? If you look, this is a pyramid, the $10,000 pyramid. The top pyramid is here. I'm the one eye in the sky. Because from whatever I say from my 2 eyes, I only have one word. One word heard, one word understand, and the difference between and what you believe. At the end of the conversation, we shake hands and thank you very much. much the circle of life, thanks to the African king and God. Jamaica, I love you. Haiti, don't worry. The Spanish train is still rolling. We will go through some heavy times. 98 years since World War I. World War II, 55 plus 12 years equals 67. 6 times 7 is 42. Go back 2 presidents. William J. Clinton. William J. Clinton. Fucked around. What's her name? Marilyn Lewinsky? You sure? You sure it was Marilyn Lewinsky? And you sure it wasn't Marilyn Mangling? And he was mangling in the wrong affairs? He never got back in, but he really never got thrown out. Because they really don't throw out any of their own people, because they're from their own brother. Can't throw out a brother, eh? Hey brother, what's up? But it's a legion. It's a legion of brothers from around the world, like a cobweb and a spider. And you're caught in it, and you don't know any better because your mind is not there. But it's not your fault. Like it's not my fault. Because I'm only telling you a story. My synopsis and hypothesis of breaking down and bringing the numbers together. So the 42nd president and the 44th makes 86. That's the real spirit of man. 42 and 44, 42, 43, 44, 41, 42, 43, 44. Tennessee, Kentucky, free parking. Tennessee, New York, free parking, Kentucky, community chest. Or is it chance? But look at the chance card that's over there. Is it the red one, the blue one, or the pink one? Because the chance they fall on, whatever the card is, they're collecting it from us. Presidents, starting from 40, take away the 40, we'll add on the 4 at the end, because it's the beginning. We take away the 4 from the 44, making the last president 40. Now we leave the 40 and the 44 alone, we go in between 43 and 44. 87. 8 and 7 is the GH7. 7 by 8 is 56 is who we are. 7 and 8 is the cycle of time, 277 or 278. Christ in the heavens. My birthday, 3 days before that. '87 plus Barack Obama is 91. A to the king. Add up all the suits and cards as 1 each. Add them up, 1 each to their value above the next value, 2, 3, 4, 5, example, equals 91. Less than 10 God, because of the connections, is 81. You have 87 and 4. 91. 91 plus the 40 of not Obama, because he's the end man. He's going to continue on. But now you go back to the 40th president. Ronald Reagan. He's going to live on his legacy. The actor, Ronald Reagan. Barack Obama is going to live on his legacy. They're 84, 7 by 12. 42 and 43 is 87. Plus 4 is 91. Plus 40 is 131. 1, 3, and 1 is 5. All started with Herbert Hoover as the 31st president. 31 presidents later is Barack Obama. And listen to the rest of the numbers I told you. And we're up in 31 days from October 4th to November 4th, 27 and 4. 31. Again, 131, 131, 262, 26, 22, 6. Because 6 and 6 is 12. That was made from 2, of 1 and 1. But it's now 2 for the 6 of each side, which is 14. And now they have the breath from Uranus and the energy of the Earth to bring it across Hoover Dam, Meade, Utah, Vegas, Highway 15, the only real spot of water between the mountains. Not far off in North Dakota, ND, second place, foreheads. The four-headed Shin, the first 4 presidents, who brought to the land the words of liberty. The only 2 they got right, or 3 they got right, were the first ones. Mother, father, brother, sister. They must do the first ones to get them right. And God put that in, and that's why they were able to put this together. The total is 13. So they inflicted their laws. Another 13, 31. They inflicted their laws. 1 and 3 is Mercury and Earth. Man wins the heart of Earth. Man loses the heart of Earth. Everybody goes home on a monkey goat, because we're all going home to the land of the African jungle, where there's islands like Jamaica and Haiti, and everybody's relaxing because they had a tight pussy and it was a little bit hard. He couldn't squeeze it in and it was very big, but she had the big and the small, the way it went in, the way it came out. Don't forget, it comes out like this. From a big pussy, from the white ghost, down to the big pussy of a female that's white. Not all of them. When I see all these cartoons, they shove their hand right in there, the baby comes out. Gotta have a white pussy. When you squeeze out the black soul, you're squeezing out the black man. Squeezing out all the shit that's around them. You don't need that white depth and that film that went around them. You squeeze them out a tighter corridor of a tighter thinking mind, of a different kind of soul, because she went both ways. One tight, one long, one hard, and a sweet word. Now, it's the 11th. 1 year, 2 years ago on this day, it was 10-10-10, and everybody was celebrating the bonding of marriage. 10-10-10. 1000, the letter M, celebration. 19 days is the moon. Then 432 are the first 3 moons for the notes of 432 on how the moon works. I know the moonwalk, I know the numbers, because they fit together under 38. 19 and 4 is 23. 2 creates 3. We don't need 4 now, because once we create 3, the 4 is who we are, and we walk away, and the gift is the child. A, B, creates C to make D. The cross, or the swastika, is all 4s, because that's what it took to hop over going to jail, and never getting entrapped in God's game, enabling them to keep going on into the same world while they brought the islands of evil over here. But it's not really exactly the men who are there, it's what they chose to do in this life, and the way it turns out. It's hard to exactly describe, but you can't balance life if you don't have evil. No matter how much good you have, there's someone under you, so that's evil. Say no evil. So you listen to the evil. You listen to the difference, you understand it, you divide it, multiply it, add it up again, and split it out. November 4th, Nellie's Air Force Base. Check to see if they have water or FEMA camps around there. I want to know what's going on in Nevada, and in Arizona, Colorado, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona. A triangle out of Las Vegas, and then start another triangle out of Vegas, going up to the Dakotas, and then breaking over to the right. Don't forget, the first 6 original hockey teams created the Jack letter, but it didn't create the Jack. It only created the Jack if they connect to Mississippi, but they haven't connected that yet. The Jack, before it becomes a Jack, it's the letter H, it's small r. It's the hook. It's the only way they can get you in your nose. They can either shove it in your nose or hook you by your nose, or punch you in the nose. You get a flat nose, you learn to take out the bone. Don't need them bones, they hold old stories. Right inside the bone, an old story, a history from the past, but you couldn't remember it, so you scratched your leg and all of a sudden you remembered. You picked your toes, so all of a sudden you understood how your nails grew up, your thoughts that came from a few days ago. And now you cut your nails off, those thoughts are gone, you remembered, you forgot, now you move on. So you're picking your toes again, but there's nothing to pull off because it's too short. So you start thinking and doing something else, your nails grow and you cut them off again. An hour and a half. So anyways, we're going to stop it here, okay? They were spreading out, 2 seas. They started like this by Florida. They come into Louisiana. They started going up like this through Nevada and splitting apart in all the tops. And now they seed off 2 sides. And in the center, there's a cross. What does it look like? This is what it looks like. And then what they do is they do this. 1 C on this side, 1 C on this side. They're in the center watching from all around. You know why they're watching from all around? Because while you're in this C over here against this angle, they're going all around the outside. And not only that, now you have the 2 eyes of the cat inside. Now the line from upstairs opens up. They crossed 2 sides, 4 and 6. They brought the good to the evil. The reflection brought it together. They separated man. They stood in the center. Now Christ has no choice but to come in here, go back to Venus and bring the information to man. And he has to knock out this sign. You bring it together, it becomes an X. But now it's more like in another language. 131, I'm stopping on it for the 31st of the 44th president who's going to change the world. Watch out, Hoover. Hoover in Las Vegas is going for a flow. Going for a flow to an area we don't know. Will there be enough water in Hoover Dam to actually reach Las Vegas? I don't know how it works. Is there a lot of water there? Because leaving Las Vegas was a code in the past of time. I didn't read time in the future. I read the past. It says it blows up. And all the numbers come to that. So I wrote a book. I told you all about it, but I haven't written a page of this. It's all in my mind. Nothing at all until I think of all I want. And then when I want to think of all I do, it's whatever it is that is in the all about what I say is what the story is. Minus the thinking part above it, because I have to get the thought first to bring it in. So instead of being 100, it's 75%. From the 85% matrix that started as 100 in God, minus 15 because of the egg. Less 10% for the body, you're 64, it's 11. 10 times 11. 10% of 10. 10 times 10 is 1. You're now 11. 11 and 10. X and 1. Roman numerals, the Hebrew letters. Shivas Regal, my friends. Shivas Regal. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. We're all one now. When Christ comes, we become in unity. We only become different because of thought. Christ will be the Word, and it's only Him we listen to. You can't go and say, hey, Christ, yeah, the guy down the street here, he told me I should do this. And Jesus said, well, you can't come in. It's my house. Well, fuck! The guy down the street said I can come in. And Christ says, it's my house. There's nobody coming in. So we shake hands. And we still hate each other because it's in our blood. We have to remember yesterday to know how we can proceed in the future and not get screwed or laid off. Or having to come to life and committing a sin by putting our hand in the Bible, driving too quick, and we were there for a reason. It was okay, but it wasn't okay. At the law, you put your hand on the Bible. Do you swear to tell the truth? Well, fuck you. You shouldn't put your hand on the Bible and swear to God. Because in French, it's another word. Mais la main sur le vide, mais, I am, man, mommy, mais la main sur, yes sir, la, the, vide. Yes, mommy, I'm eating. Stick out your tongue. In French, met chinois means Chinese. It's all slanted and on the side. Met le main is like deux mains. Le main is one hand. Why can't I put two? When you're holding something, it teaches you to hold the balance with two hands. So in French, they say le main, the hand of God. I'm supposed to take the hand because there's only one hand that's yours, and the other hand, okay, is God. It doesn't make a choice. It's you thinking. Mais le main sur, oh, it's sour. Continue. La, okay, Like that one over there, okay, yeah. Bib, my bib is over here. You want me to put my hand over there? In English, you want me to swear and tell you that I actually had the motions for the whole situation that went on, that I can't show up in courts and tell you exactly the truth? If I had, and I was on a highway, and there was nobody on the highway, and there was no entrances to the highway, and all the animals were blocked off, I can go as fast as I want. It's my life. I can die. You come back up to God. He says, what did you learn? He says, God, I'm only 18. He says, can you give me a little bit more time till I'm 21? Well, 3 more years is creation. The time of the mother and the father to really love each other, to want to get screwed and get laid, to have him come back so he can think about the life he just left because he had bad breath. And it's all that comes out of your mouth. Raphael, 7286. 777 from when I got sick is the 12th of December of 2012. So I don't think it's going to be any different than falling on the Wednesday. Is it a Wednesday? 777, 5, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. The day of the chosen, and the 1 period of 6. Well, that's the wrong month. How come it won't move? It moves like this. Okay, so 12th of December is a Wednesday. Add 4 days for the song. 4 days, 7 to 8 days a week. Okay, for what's his name? You go to the 12, you go back, you got 8 heaven. You go forward, you got the 16th. From the 16th to the 20th is the eve of the destruction. So that means what have to happen on the 16th. And the eve would be on the 15th. Saturday, the egg. And it's, 14 days, which is the passage. 15 and 14, 3.1415, 14 days from the passage of where the 31st connects creation to the 1. The reason for Halloween is because all 31st connect 30s to 1. The 29th and 30th is 29 is connected to 30, that's connected to 1, makes it 31. But at 31 connected to 30, okay, leaves you at 1, you connect 1, you have 2. You're going on to the next day, the 16th of December. From the 16th of December, it's 9 days to Christmas. 10, 11, 12 days of Christmas. The 29th is Saturday, a new service, a Sabbath. The Sunday, for those, the 31st is the Monday, the old Halloween. Then the day of the chosen on January 1st is the holiday. You come back in again on a Wednesday. So from the 12th to the 2nd of January, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 Wednesdays, 4 weeks, 7, 7, 7, 7, to the 19th, 7 to the 26th. It's only 3 weeks, but it takes up 4 to the 5 week because the 12th comes from the 5th. That made up that week. Then you went forward 1 week, you went to the 12th, you went back 1 week, you went to the 12th, you went forward 1 week to the 19th, then you went back 1 week, okay, for the 12th, went back to the 19th, and you started again on the 26th, and then you stopped on the 2nd. And now there's a whole week ahead of you before you have to make that final decision because it's been chosen of last week. 3 for 3, the days of the week. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, I'm saying 4 weeks and counting 12, 19, 31, 41, 51, 57, 59. It ends in the number of Christ. If you add up these numbers, it's 59. 69, 79, 87, back to G and H, because 28 goes into the other month. We have 5 Wednesdays in the month of December. We have 4 Wednesdays in the month of December, and the first one connects the next month as a 2nd. The 5th is on a Saturday, the 5th and the 1st, okay? The 1st, okay, of December, and the 5th of January is the 15 egg. Now I got to work the numbers in between. Now I'm tired. It's an hour and 39 minutes. I made 5 hours yesterday, but there's just so much information. You can't just tell the story without joking and fooling around and bringing everything in without trying to remember. When I pause, I'm alive. I'm not bringing you to a commercial. But in the movies, they don't show you what everybody's doing. So you can't see whether they're laughing or not and joking around. Because after you watch the movie and you watch all the stupidity after, what they did before and after and the after, they work. You can see exactly their real character, what they believe in the story. January's week, the first week, ends the first 2 days of December, Sunday, 61, Saturn, plus the first 5 days equals 15, the egg. 30 and 31 equals 61, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is 15, equals 66, equals 76, the spirit of 76, the spirit of 20, of 76, 10 and 10, 20, okay, 2076, hold on a second, 2076 is 2 pi r is 30, 30 times, because 30 goes right to jail, 30 times 76 equals 2280, which is life of the 2 squares on top of each other, 40 and 40. 22 and 80 is 102. Valentine's and blackjack, the angle of life. The 28 in between is the moon. The 2 and the 0 is the world we're in, 2 and 0. The 2 are the beta of the O, because it's the one God who never left the house. He's sending you the one message. But he's property number 1 up there, but to you he sends you in the message, and the one message is inside of you. 22 and 88. 88, okay, minus 22, okay, 80 minus 22 is 58. 5 and 8 is 13, 5 by 8 is 40, equals 53. 5 by 3 is 15, the egg, 5 plus 3 is 8, the heaven, makes number 23, beta creation. 2 times 8 is 16, creates the one spirit of 6. Every letter creates itself. But now we're going to go to the end. On the 80, there's near a 0. 8 times 0 is 120. 1 and 2 is 3. 2 times 2 on the first part is 4. 3 and 4 is 7. And we've reconnected the end of the world to the beginning of the Ice Age. The age of Aquarius. The Ice Age. The best age. Because all thoughts that come in here that are evil are frozen. When you want to go get them, they melt off, but you got to learn that they are strong. Because they are wise. So you must be a wise man before you go into their den and search out, because you're no longer minding your business. It's your head, it's your bed, it's your oyster. It's you who crabs, and it's your dick that's a shrimp and limp and lame because you didn't know how to play the truth of the game. There were 3 doors ahead of you, and whichever one you chose, it was all a joke. Match game, and the price is right. Groundhog Day. John Lennon, Elvis Presley. The Twin Towers, Oklahoma City. Al-Qaeda. Do you know why Al-Qaeda? QAZ are on the left, okay? Q always follows with a U. So now you got QUA, okay? The U is next to the I, to the left one, to the right one, okay? D, okay, is next to S. You can go 2 forward because you can't go 1 left. So 1 stick in Roman numerals says from where I am, I can go X11. You got Al-Qaeda. What you can do on here and what you can't. When you come to the end of the road, you now can only go 2 forward. So instead of being 5, you're 7. You can go 1 back, you're 6. That's why in Roman numerals, okay, you go 1 back. But you can't go 2 back because you're standing right here. You only can go 1 forward and 1 back. You can do 2. And as you walk, you're jumping over the 1. But you're always in between because the V is down, instead the life is up. 2 ways of learning and walking and talking. The Titanic, Newfoundland, New Brunswick, the NFL, the NHL, the Baseball League, British Soccer, the Fox Hunt, the Wolf Cried, Little Red Riding Hood, Beauty and the Beast, Hollywood, Las Vegas. A man with a beautiful mind, Rain Man. Rain Man. Something like being hooked up to a computer. I feel like I'm that Rain Man. I feel like I'm the Hunchback of Notre Dame carrying the moon on my back because I'm a Raish. Born the 278th day, 10 days of God that came in before me, minus 10, plus the 278, make my whole of 288. Now I need to step forward, which is the 5, connect my brain, becomes 2 39s, 13, 13, 13 in one world, 13, 13, 13 in the other world. One is the in, one is the out. 2 39s is 78, G and H, 15, A and E, letter O, equals 21. Every time I end the version of what I'm saying, I'm starting back at 0. So I'm actually at no point because I'm not putting any forwardness into it, as I'm always going up a level. So I must go back to look because I'm climbing all the time. It's a little bit difficult because I'm going up the V. If I flatten out the V, my angle is going to be with Mars, with Saturn, the 6 and the 4. I want my angle that Venus, my mother, that takes from my father in my heart, that I from Saturn, okay, being the totality of the Earth 8, Mars 4 is 12, plus Venus 2 is 14, makes that passage. You no longer touch the 8. Go down 6 to 8 to 4, now you go up 6 to 2 to 4. You go 6 to 2 in your mind is 8, 62. And then 2 goes back to 6. Although it's 0.0, she repeats her number. 6 to 2, 2 to 6. 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., 622, 6. More than one way to the same story. There's thousands of ways. For every cycle, held the commandments of the last cycle, so everybody knew the path. And if it didn't hold it in the last cycle, it's okay, because every corridor has 3 boxes, 2, 4, 6, and 8. 2 and 4 and 8, or 4 and 8. It's got 3 boxes. And these boxes is you communicating to both sides. And it fills up the good, the bad, it mixes it up, and then it leaves out the answer. So you have the negative and the positive of that coming in. Your 3 cases. What case would you like to open? What case did you just open? Okay, which case are you going to open? We're looking for his name. Thank you. I appreciate it. Howie Mendel. 6 foot something. Bald head. Funny guy. Don't know if he's a dick. He's got a dick on his head because he shaved his hair and he's not embarrassed. He shows off that he got the underneath of your penis right here. The thing. What's the banker going to say? But he already knows what the banker's going to say because it's already been done. Every box that touches, it's just a different answer already pre-recorded. From a banker who can speak and he seems so well. We were at 278, we are at 288, we're all over the place. We're ending it right now before I bust. I didn't take this yet. This is my food. This is the blue pill. I take the yellow pill is the energy. The blue pill is what helps the energy. And the white pill is the alter ego who tries to shut down the energy. By using all the sides of my bipolar and the Ativan to add it up a little bit, smoking a joint and a cigarette, okay, I put the position of my mind eating itself in the right spot. 101. You know what happens to 101? The guy runs down the street and he's a ball. You ever see Boomerang, the way it goes around and comes around? You shoot it up here, 1 automatically hits here, comes back here, goes up here, hits here, and comes back here. There's a game like that. So no matter what, once you're in the center, and you throw it a beat either way, you're going to come back right to who you are. The reason for 4 and 3. 10 threes, hit go to jail. 10 fours, you're on go. At this time, go pays 400. You got 200 to get out of jail, but they only ask you for $50 in the Monopoly. You got $150 left for you and your right-hand man, the evil one. 150 each. We just bowled 312 frames. 2 people, except it was 1, but it was 2. So you only get 150. But wait a second, the whole thing has to be switched around because the last shot had to be a spare. So you'd end up with 10 and he'd end up with 10. The total would be the total of the next shot of you and him putting together just one story. The story of life. Of your life. The story of history. History of your mind, of what you're thinking as you walk through the sand. You've left the past behind. And your ass. is always there, looking back into your future. Raphael 7286. Who am I? Who am I? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I've got a small prick with a nice head that makes a good curve. So when it holds it up here and it's a little sticky for the honey, I'm the honey bear and I'm the bee. I got a dick in both spots. Here's dick number one. But this tick plays with the snake of what comes out of here. Honey. I'm the googly bear, the share bear, the care bear. I'm the wolf. We hung out together. I know the path of the wolf. I'll go my way into the circle of life and live my 9 lives of the cat. 6.66 billion divided by 9 equals 7.4 of the Christ of Mars and Uranus. Putting together 7 by 4, 28. 7 by 4, 28, 4 by 7, 28. Keep doubling up for 2, but 6 doesn't get into 28. 4 sixes is 24, 5 sixes is 30. Now we're back to Monopoly, and let's check out what chess piece we're going to move next. Hoover Dam, Beavers, Lake Mead. All those things in the ground, are they going to blow up? Are they using nuclear energy under Lake Mead to keep the people a little high in the town? What are they doing in Lake Mead? That's a hell of a dam. I couldn't see Bugs Bunny coming out there. Maybe they're going to send out old Sammy Sam with that big mustache. Connect 2 sides of the dam, but nobody will ever know and no one's there. And everybody else is leaving Las Vegas because the flow of water is coming in. And you know when you're gambling and you swim in water with the sharks, you lose all your money. So you better get out of your car. If you're planning on going anywhere, according to my understanding, but if you're planning to go anywhere, you have to leave on the day before Halloween. Wherever you're going, you have to leave the day before the Halloween. Then there is no Halloween. So they force you to have Halloween, to collect the candy on the next day, to go to school on the 2nd. Okay, I gotta just switch the months here. The Wednesday, the 1st, 2nd, 3rd. After Halloween is the 1st. It's a Thursday at first. It's the coming here before Friday. 1 and 2 is 3. 31 and 1 is 32. 31 and 2 is 33. 1 and 2 is 3. 31 plus 1 plus 2 is 34, plus the 10 God is 44. That's why we don't go over 31. Then you have the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday the 3rd, and 101, which busts out a corner, 4 and 3 dice, falls on a Sunday, in which Monday, or read it backwards, is the demon. That's why they got to do it on that day. That's Sunday. They do it on that day, on Tuesday and Wednesday, in which is the 31st that I said don't celebrate Halloween, because 6 to 7 days later it's the elections, in which 3 days before something's going to happen. Usually it happens in 3, right? The elections, the explosion, and the takeover. 1 week, they're just going to zoom on in and start collecting. Piece by piece by piece. Blow up this, the people get out. Shh. People in Las Vegas have nowhere to go. Leaving Las Vegas, California, Texas, all those states in between where the floodwaters came, it now separates the map unless you go high as you fly and ride above the 80. 80, 90, Highway 9, you want to be as high as you could. But don't forget, when you're that high, and the speed in Montana is 85, they want you to get off. They want you to get off on the high of the speed. That's why you feel so good, because you got an energy, it's in a different race. You're playing a game, you're driving a car. Mount Rushmore, the stones are safe, because it happens under and not over. The flow from the mountains went all into Lake Mead. Me-ad. Me-ad, me-ad, meow. Me-ad, me-ad, meow. You scratch the paper, meow. Let's see what happens, it hurts, meow. But it's okay. We'll just go to tomorrow. Raphael, 7286. And the constellation of Pegasus under Andromeda. This is just a story. I just put together everything everybody said, and this is the way I saw it. That's all. No more. No more. No more. Same head. The light bulb. Mustache connected to two sides. Lips connected to four sides. 2 and 4, and you're all over her. X, the 24 hours of man. X, the 10 commandments of God. The 34 equals 1. One says oneness, one says ow, me, because if you listen to it and come over and ask me the questions, I'll show you how ow says who and how. Because the owl, who's who and who, the owl is a Mars. Incoming and outgoing, the opposition message is who, who, who. And if you look at one of my pictures, I got an owl with an A, an E, and an O. Because A and E in the first world of the first dice is 1, 5, and then when you come to the third dice, it's O. 1 and 5 is the 15th letter O. It'll be 3 more than 12 of the 2 dice, and it'll be 3 less than the end of the third dice, which is the ratio 18. 18 and 15 is the 33 of Christ. Forget about the 10. 8 and 5 is 13. 1 and 3 is 4. Man is 1. He's got the 4 corners because he's got all his mind and all his marbles, and he's now a pinball wizard. Raphael 7286, just telling you like it is. 60 minutes at a time. No, that's not good. There's somebody else at 60 minutes. 61 minutes at a time. I'll take over that one for Halloween. Make the reconnection of the world from October 4th to November 5th. And we'll lose that part of the world. And we'll remember it on the 11th. It's only in numbers. I have to bring it up and show you how it would look if we rebuilt. Only if you rebuilt you can do it. Because this world is always rolling on over 360. Once you're over 360 degrees, you've been over the borderline. You're walking the plank. It's the moon and you. And that's all it is. Raphael, 7286. If you like it, pass it on, make it viral. Take it serious, take it as a joke. Do as you need to do. Think. You watch TV for 2 hours, and now you watch one man get up here and talk about something that's only in his head. That's all. Just a story. Just a story. But I see it as the truth. So if you got a vacuum cleaner, and it's not a dirt devil, but it's a Hoover, you got a Hoover dam, she's doing the floors. She is a dame, and she's got a Hoover dame sucking up. But he walked in with his payload. Wanted to break her dam because she was a virgin. Her dam has never been broken before. So he sticks it in her, and he explodes. And the water floods, and the baby comes out. In leaving Las Vegas, Raphael, 72, November 4th, 76. Thank you.